Namah Shivaya. Om 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 Namah Shivaya. One of the values that Lord Krishna prescribes in the Bhagavad Gita is Karuna. Karuna can be translated as mercy. Or better, empathy. And empathy for the pain which is experienced by another person. That there is a lot of pain in the human beings. Ignorance. Can I have a louder volume? Ignorance, of course, is the primary cause of all the pain. Everyone is born ignorant. And therefore feels a sense of inadequacy, a sense of lack or want. A sense of smallness. That creates insecurity or fear in the heart of the human beings. Every living being has a fear. But creatures other than human beings only have fear of death. Human being also has fear of death. But over and above, there is a fear at the level of ego. The fear of failure. The fear of being rejected. The fear of being humiliated. A lot of fear exists at the level of ego. Stronger the ego, more the possibility of fear. This fear makes a person defensive. There is often an apprehension of what will happen to me. Will I fail? Will I be rejected? Will I be humiliated? Will I be misunderstood? Will I be hated? These apprehensions generally remain in the mind of a human being, in most of the human beings. Very often, this fear makes a person aggressive. Mainly to protect one's own self. Also, a sense of need within oneself creates attachments and aversions. Attachment towards what one thinks is a source of happiness or security. Aversion for what one looks upon as a threat. To what one considers valuable. When there is a contender to what one looks upon as valuable. There is a dislike, there is competition. All of these feelings often bring about a dislike, aversion, anger. And that may express in action, in terms of physical action, or in terms of one's speech. Thus very often we confront people who possess these traits, that they are jealous, that they are aggressive, that their behavior is hurtful. more often than not, our response is to retaliate. Because I have my own insecurities, I have my own likes and dislikes. And this is how conflicts happen. Interactions with the people, more often than not, become the cause of conflict. Cause of sadness or unhappiness. A sense of hurt or guilt is created from the way one behaves. What should we do? This is where empathy comes into play. A sympathy born of empathy. When I look at the person behind the behavior, whereas the outer behavior is hurtful, aggressive, violent. Behind that behavior is a person who is fearful, who is in pain, who is insecure, and who therefore reacts. Responding to the person behind the behavior. That behind every unbecoming behavior there is pain. It is true that I have become the object of the hurtful behavior of others, and I am hurt. The way to overcome that hurt is recognizing the helplessness of the other person. It is the pain and helplessness which make a person aggressive, hurtful. when I see that pain, and I may not know what kind of pain it is, I may not know what caused that pain, I may be sure that I have not caused that pain, but there is pain nevertheless. Responding to that pain with compassion. The empathy creates sympathy, that creates compassion. Compassion becomes a very important value in interacting with others. By compassion, I'm not obliging anybody. When the compassion arises from a genuine appreciation of pain and helplessness in the other person, then I realize that by that compassion I am only helping myself, healing my own wounds. Compassion is a great healer. That enables me to gracefully accept other people. In spite of their behavior. When I look back at my life, I may see that there have been people who have caused pain to me, who have caused hurt to me. When I take into account the pain and helplessness in those people who have hurt me, I am able to accommodate them, forgive them. And thus become free from the sense of hurt. That is called forgiveness, which makes me free from sense of hurt. That is how I can gracefully accept the people in my past. I have no complaint against anybody in my past. Similarly, in the present, the hurt that others cause to me can be healed by looking at the pain and helplessness which are within the person whose outer behavior may be harsh or hurtful. A sympathetic understanding of the pain and helplessness of others enables me to discover from myself a sympathy for them. A sympathy arising from understanding and empathy. That makes me free from the hurt that people in the present may be causing. Thus healing my hurt by genuine sympathy that arises from an understanding. This kshama, accommodation, sympathy, compassion, large-heartedness, accommodation, brings peace to my mind. I gracefully accept the people in my past. Graceful acceptance means I have no complaint against them because I understand where they were coming from. No complaint, no blaming. Accepting people as they are, as they were. accepting people in the present as they are. Meaning that I have no complaint against them. I do not blame anybody. Then I am at peace with myself. When I create peace with others, it brings peace to myself. Accepting the past, accepting the present, accepting the future. No complaint against anybody in the past. No complaint against anybody in the present. No complaint against anybody in the future. No complaint, no blaming, arising from a genuine understanding and compassion. The peace that I experience as a result of this kshama is my true nature. I find myself a peaceful, loving person. That love is always in my heart, because that is my nature. Only this hurt and anger and resentment coming from hurt obstruct the manifestation of my love. I am a loving person. Love is my nature. What is other than love is due to ignorance, due to lack of right thinking. When right thinking is there, right attitude is there, then what remains is love. Love is my nature. That alone is called Ananda. Ananda is my nature. Chidananda Rupa Shivoham Shivoham Chidananda Rupa Shivoham Shivoham. Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti.